Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to another video of the channel, and today we are going to be talking about my favorite team, the Golden State Warriors. But before we start, guys, we just hit 800 subscribers. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up, guys. We are nearing 1,000. This is crazy. This is actually insane. The grind will not stop. I will keep going. We will keep pressing forward. So without further ado, y'all already know. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Golden State went 48-34 on the season, being 6th in the Western Conference. They're 15th in offensive rating and they're 7th in defensive rating, while also having a net rating of plus 3.3. With the Warriors being the 6th seed, we did have to face off against the Memphis Grizzlies in the play-in as they were the 7th seed. We did send them suckers back to the forest, and then OKC shook them with a little bit of thunder and sent them packing. See what I did there? Because, thunder and, they're in the forest and, like, the Grizzlies stay in the forest, so, and then the thunder comes down and like, With us winning that game, we did have to play against the freaking Houston Rockets. Let me tell y'all, that was such a physical freaking series. They kept touching Curry more than a freaking public water fountain. Surprisingly, the Houston Rockets did bring us to Game 7. I was simply shocked. But we did end up winning that game in a blowout fashion. I think the score was like 103 to like 89. So we got them suckers out of there and they were sent into space.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
With us winning the series against the Houston Rockets, then we had to end up playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. We got freaking clapped. We had a good first game. Curry was doing great, was killing them, and then went down with the injury. Then after that, we lost 4 games straight. Yes, in a row. It was really sad. So with us taking that L and our backs getting blown out aggressively, whoa, aggressively? I'm sorry. My fault, bro. Retake that crap. With us brutally losing, what is next for the Golden State Warriors? Jonathan Kuminga is by far the biggest question on this team. Against the Rockets, he struggled a lot and didn't really look as comfortable out there. But against the Wolves, it was a different story, and in that series, he did average 21 points per game and even dropped a 30 ball in Game 3. He also shot 42% from downtown and shot 54% from the field. He played with straight up confidence and looked a whole lot better. Looking at Kuminga, he has a whole lot of potential and can become something great. But the only thing with Kuminga is that he will be a restricted free agent this year. Golden State does have 3 options here. The first one is you could re-sign him and say, hey, I think he can do pretty good. Let's go ahead and let's just give him a contract. And hopefully he does develop to his fullest potential, but that is going to be hard with Curry and Butler being ball dominant. Option 2 is that you re-sign him and maybe look to trade him to get something back in return, which wouldn't be that bad. He's coming off of a great series against the Wolves, so selling high on him would be probably the best idea possible. And option 3 is you just let him walk for nothing. Now that does sound bad, letting Kuminga walk, but I mean, it kind of is good because we would have a $14 million mid-level extension. I couldn't get that word, was kind of hard to get out, but we do have that if we don't re-sign Kuminga. But this is really just going to be the biggest factor on how Golden State does things and how they want to go with the roster going forward. So best case scenario is that you maybe re-sign him and hope he can come back and play great and have a good next season. Or if he doesn't fit here and you see that they need to go a different direction and get a better something off the bench, then trading him is not out of the question because you're just going to have to pack him on up out of there. As a Golden State fan, I think Kuminga does have a lot of potential. I just don't think he's going to reach the fullest on this team. It's just not going to work. I feel like we're going to have to trade him for something, probably some kind of scoring because we need it. When Curry went down with that injury, it was very prominent that Jimmy was the only guy that was going to give us some kind of offense besides Kuminga. But think about when Curry and Butler are on the court together, Kuminga's going to have to come off the bench. I don't think he's going to produce like he did against the Wolves because 1, he started there, and 2, he looked a whole lot more comfortable. So I don't know. I just don't know what Golden State does with Kuminga. If I was in their shoes, I might have to sign and trade. I'm sorry, but I might have to sign and trade that man. Great potential, and I hope he can achieve that somewhere else. But I'm trying to look to win right now with Stephen Curry. With that being said, another big thing is the big 3 of Curry, Butler, and Darth Mule, and if they can keep up their play at this elite level that they're doing it at. Just like how I talked about the Clippers in my last video about them doing a possible 2-year timeline with their stars, the Warriors are in a similar situation as both Curry and Butler have 2 years left on their contract, and Darth Mule had the same amount, but on his last year of his contract, a player option is there for $27 million. But when you see Curry is 37, Jimmy is 35, and Darth Mule is 35 as well, you see that this is truly their last chance to win anything. And it's not going to be easy because you then have to face teams like the Wolves and OKC and even the Rockets or Nuggets. They're young and they are hungry and they most definitely want to win and take down the Golden State Warriors. But of course, with these players aging, they're not going to stay the same forever. So if a slight dip off does begin to happen with maybe all three of them, that's just a tough reality. So we don't really know how much Father Time is going to help these boys continue to play at a great level. We don't know when it's going to stop. It could be next season for one of them and they just completely fall off a cliff, which I hope not. Please, I want to see you guys win one more. Please. But you just never know how long these players have. Like I said, Curry's 37, Jimmy and Dre are 35 years old. That is a whole lot. And by the time that 2-year thing is up, Curry's going to be 39, Jimmy's going to be 37, same with Draymond. So it's a lot on them. But Stephen Curry and Draymond have done so much for the organization and the fans in general. The team of Golden State that I saw in 2014 was the first time I ever laid my eyes on basketball. I saw them win the championship against the Cavaliers that year, well, the 2014-2015 year, and I was amazed. I did not know what my eyes were looking at because I was 8 years old at the time, so I didn't realize what the frick I was looking at. I just saw a bunch of people cheering and crap, and I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. Got me into playing basketball, got me into watching more NBA, into now me covering the NBA because of that team. So this low-key holds a soft spot in my heart to see that, dang, this is really the last like 2 years that we get with this team, and it does suck. But growing up, seeing Curry and Draymond and Clay as well, even though he's gone, but was a beautiful thing to witness. I mean, championship on championship, bro. Like, KD even came over here at one point. That was greatness, bro. And now we got Jimmy. I mean, bro, I can't get better than that. But I will say that I do not have any crazy worries with this team. I feel like they're going to be all right. They're going to be fine with those big three. If they just play together, they lock in, they play hard and aggressive, then we could definitely run it back and we can maybe make a playoff spot next year. And we could probably go to the finals and we could probably win possibly against a team like the Cavaliers or the Knicks or the Pacers. The Celtics, they're just in a bad spot with Jason Tatum. Prayers up to you, Tatum. If you guys want me to make a video about the Boston Celtics, I can also do that as well, so let me know down below. Before we even get to that, though, about going to the playoffs and possibly the finals and doing absolutely great next season, what does this team have to do to get to that level? Gary Payton II, Kevon Looney, Guy Santos, Pat Spencer, and Quentin Post and Jonathan Kuminga are all free agents. So that right there is kind of most of your young people. I mean, you have Santos, you have Spencer, and you have Quentin Post. Lacrosse legend Pat Spencer, sorry. Then we got our boy Quentin Post. Quentin Post can be somebody for us for the future as a center. He showed that he could knock down the three ball, could kind of stretch the floor, not too much though because he is kind of young. So if he can get some development underneath him, then he's going to be just fine in what the Golden State has for their future and their plans. He could definitely be part of it. As far as Santos go, we can see what happens with him. They might try and, I don't know, maybe throw him in a trade if they re-sign him to beef up the roster a little bit because it is kind of young. It is pretty youthful. So maybe bringing in some older guys and some veterans that can actually contribute to winning as far as going deep in the playoff run or to the finals is very good. And for Pat Spencer, we might could re-sign him. I don't really know yet, but that's just on them. For Gary Payton II, we need to re-sign that man. That man gives us so much freaking energy off the bench, gives us life like Draymond does. It's just a mini Draymond. I'll say that, a mini Draymond off the bench, and gives us life, makes plays, and he hit even some clutch shots. We played against the freaking Wolves a little bit. He hit some good shots, and against the Houston Rockets as well. So Gary Payton's pretty good for you. And as far as Kevon Looney goes, that's up to them if they want to re-sign him or not. It didn't really get to start a lot, so that kind of makes me think they might want to move on from him. They might let him walk. I just don't know what they're gonna do with him. Possibly sign and trade. throw it in with Kuminga, throw in like a pick or two, and then try and make a deal for somebody. But that's really on them. Kevon Looney is really good, protects the basket a lot, rim protector, gets a lot of rebounds and hustles a lot. Only thing is that he is slow, so it kind of does suck. But before the injuries, that man was moving like KD. So, hey, that's up to Golden State what they want to do with Kevon Looney. One thing that we need is a freaking center! We gotta stop with the small ball crap. Like, sure, Draymond is great and amazing on defense. Bro is definitely one of the best to do it, but he's 6'6" and he's getting older. So you guys know how I talked about the Celtics just a little bit earlier in the video? Yeah. Let's say Golden State does call them up and they possibly want to get Kristaps Porzingis. The Celtics do have to own their guys a lot. I mean, a lot of money. So they're going to have to ditch some salary cap here and there to get some more cap room as far as going forward with that team. I mean, Tatum's out. I mean, you got to pay him some money. You got to pay a lot of people some money. So Kristaps Porzingis is possibly on the table, and Golden State wants to call them up to make a trade. I feel like it could happen. KP could fit really good as a center here in Golden State and could be a stretch 5, could stretch the floor a little bit and protect the rim and hit them threes. It also gives us another shooter for the defense to worry about and hypothetically have a lineup of Curry, Paz, Jimmy, Green, and KP. If they did want to make this trade happen, though, they'd probably have to throw in Kuminga and probably throw in another young piece, maybe like Moses Moody, and possibly a couple picks to send the Celtics' way. But that's only if the Celtics do want a guy like Kuminga. Helps them out on defense. Offensively could bring something. Not a lot of threes though, but could do something for you if you want somebody like that. But let's say Golden State does not go that route and they want to go a completely different route, and let's say they want to move to free agency instead of making a trade like that. Cool, you got guys like Steven Adams who can rim protect and just play really good, honestly, in this rotation that I feel like he could be a starter in. That man could provide great minutes. I feel like it could be really great. Curry and him on the pick and roll could be devious and could be very, very fun to watch. Or they could go for a guy like Clint Capella, who played for the Atlanta Hawks, of course, but did go down with an injury, so he was not able to play in the play-in game. But that's somebody you could target as well. Another guy is Al Horford, who also is from the Celtics, so you could maybe target to possibly get him in free agency as well if he doesn't go back to the Celtics. But like I said, they got a whole lot of money situation, so he might not go back, which honestly would be pretty good for us. I know bro's going on 39, but at least he can knock down the threes. He plays hard. He hustles hard as frick. So that would be honestly a W for us. But seriously, any kind of center, I don't care who it is. It could be anybody. Okay, maybe not anybody, but we just need a freaking center. Another option that I think they possibly could go with is going for Nikola Vucevic from the Bulls. That man should have been gone a long time ago, bro. When y'all got rid of Zach LaVine, he should have went with him. He should have been gone. Y'all should have found another team to call up. Hey, I want to trade Vucevic and possibly get some picks from you and maybe a young star or just a young piece or something. Nothing happened. You kept him on the team. What are we doing? But with all those names they threw out, Golden State, you better do something. I know they're not going to watch this video, but y'all suckers got to do something. I mean, I just threw out like 5 names. Well, like 6 names, bro. Go out and get somebody, please. Do not get Alex Len. Do not go for Jackson Hayes. Do not go for Ben Simmons. Oh my gosh. I forgot to mention that too. In the Clippers video, I said he guarded Jokic. We're not doing that. Do not get Ben Simmons. Do not put him at the center position, bro. Do not do it. But let's say they did trade for KP, right? They threw in Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and like 2 first-round picks, or maybe 3. Well, 2. You kind of already lost your, I guess, off the bench score, and you got a starter in a center. So let's say, hey, they need somebody off the bench wise that could provide a little bit of scoring. Then that becomes another problem. Who do you get? And this is where I miss Jordan Poole, bro. Jordan Poole is my freaking GOAT, and he's gone now. I hate that trade for Chris Paul happened. I was so angry that crap went down and it didn't work, and Chris Paul ended up leaving to go to the freaking San Antonio Spurs. We traded him for nothing. Freaking nothing. I hate this, bro. I really do. And then Draymond Green, we kept him. He punched him right in the face. What the frick, man? I hate that, bro. I hate it, man. But that's where I miss Jordan Poole the most, bro. But I digress. I do not want to crash out right now. So let's say they did look for a third option that could possibly lock in and do something. Let's say they don't get Dang, excuse me. Let's say they don't get, I'm sorry, excuse me for that, apologize. Let's say they do not get KP right from the Celtics. Let's say they revisit the Bulls trade. Let's say they want to get Vucevic from the Bulls, right? What if they could possibly snag Kobe White? Kobe White could be one guy for us that could help out off the bench, which would honestly be phenomenal. If we did give up Kuminga, we could possibly get Vucevic and Kobe White, but I feel like we would have to throw in some other pieces to obviously make this happen. Kobe just came off of his best career stat-wise, showing us that he could shoot the ball and pass the rock, as well as he also had 5 assists a night. Another guy could be Ty Jerome, and he played over here once before, but offensively, he could be a solid off-the-bench piece for us because, like for the Celtics, the Cavs are also going to be an expensive team, so they're going to have to pay some of their guys. If the Cavs do not pick up Ty Jerome in free agency and see we don't have enough money, then Golden State might have to shoot that shot to get him. Or you could look for a stretch forward that could possibly space the floor and hit threes. One of the best candidates that I think could fit here could be Bobby Portis. Let's say bro does not want to sign with the Bucks and sees, hey, Giannis is going to go, Dame is down, what's the point of me staying, right? He wants to go to a contender. Golden State fits that perfectly. Put him in the starting lineup, and there you go. That's what the frick I'm talking about. That would be a fire lineup, although I don't know how you could run that. You'd have Curry, because that does leave Draymond at the center position. If they run it small ball still, which they could possibly do, I don't know. It's Golden State, so we'll have to figure that out. But if they did get him, I would probably start him at the power forward. I'm talking about Bobby Portis. Wow. I'm talking about Bobby Portis right now. So start him at the 4, Curry, Pods, Butler, and then Portis, and then Draymond. I don't really know how they're gonna sort that out, but that could be somebody that could shoot the 3 for you, give you great energy, could be a super fan, lovable guy from us. I love him. You know what I'm saying? From the Bucks standpoint, how he played over there, fans loved him. I like watching him play. It was pretty good. He had some good shots too. So shout out Bobby Portis. Overall, the Golden State Warriors are in a decent spot right now. They have money. They have flexibility. They can possibly make a big splash or a big move. They're under both the second and first apron. You got to figure out what you want to do with Kuminga, because once you figure that out, then you can fill out the rest of the roster and do whatever you want to with that. Then you have to figure out, is Curry, Butler, and Green going to play the same? And if they don't, then we are kind of cooked. So you got to figure that out as well. And then the rest of the team kind of have to figure that out as well. Do you want to keep TJD, who was kind of disappointing this year, which kind of sucked until the playoffs came around? They played him a little bit more. Surprisingly, Golden State did almost come back from one of the games against the Rockets. They were down by like a lot. I know. I forgot what game it was, but the bench came in and played better. How the frick does that even happen? No, that was against the Wolves. My fault. That was against the Wolves. How the frick does that even happen? The bench come in and start playing better than the starters. What are we doing, bro? Like, what are we doing? So that's something you got to figure out as well. Do you want to keep TJD or not? Podziemski, I mean, he's solid. I'll say that. I don't want to say inconsistent, but I kind of have to, though. He had his struggles, has moments of kind of bad shooting, from the floor. Didn't really look all that well at one point, but he's getting back into it, getting back in the groove. It was better than the first start of the season, because in the start of the season it was booty. I mean, guys, it was garbage. But now he's picked it up, and we've seen him pick it up. So congratulations for him. Could he possibly be thrown in a trade? I don't know. I don't really see Golden State maybe trading him right now. Maybe near the trade deadline, if something doesn't go right with the team and they want to look in a new direction, then heck yeah, go ahead and do it. Moses Moody could be somebody that I can definitely see moved. Like I said, he's like kind of Kuminga wise, a bright young piece on this team. Could get a lot out of him if you trade him. And you just hope that you can find something if you do trade him. I would probably package him and Kuminga together, and then probably some picks, and try and look for something back in return. As far as that, get a center, definitely. Like I said, KP's on the board. Go for him. Vucevic is on the board. Kobe White and Vucevic would be crazy. I don't know if the Bulls would agree to that, though. I don't really know how they would feel if they did get a call from Golden State saying, hey, I want to get Kobe White and Vucevic for like Kuminga and like 2 people and a couple picks. I don't know how they're going to do with that. Possibly getting a bench player that could produce some points is there, and that's it, bro. I mean, that's kind of it. And then you want to beef up the roster, get some veterans a little bit, probably get like 1 to 2 to, you know, make sure everything's all right with the young guys and go like that, like how the Detroit Pistons did. They obviously did get Dennis Schroeder, who helped them out a lot, and we'll see what happens with that. So that's kind of all I had to say, man, with this team overall. They have 2 more years to make a shot, and if they don't hit that, then that is kind of it. I think that's the end of the road for Curry and Green and Butler as far as trying to compete with a winning team, which kind of sucks. That's depressing. That's so sad to say, but it's the truth. But that is all that I had to say about Golden State, my favorite team, man. Hopefully you guys can come back better next season, make some moves, get better. Like I said, get a center, please, and we'll see what happens with them. That is all that I had to say about the Golden State Warriors. All right, you guys have made it to the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and of course, if you enjoyed, please hit the like button and let me know what you want in the comments down below. If you want me to talk about the Celtics, go ahead and say it. Y'all want me to talk about any team right now that's not in the playoffs, let me know down below. Thank you once again for 800 subscribers. I am very, very blessed to be able to receive 800 people to pull up and hit the subscribe button. That's a milestone, guys. I mean, I'm blessed. Truly, truly blessed. Like I said, bro, we gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep grinding and thriving. Guys, we're looking to hit that 1,000, and then we're gonna keep going right after that and keep on building up, bro. And yeah, man, I love y'all, bro. Y'all want me to talk about any team or any player in general, please let me know down below. Comment. Of course, do not be scared to comment, boy. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Daniel. I don't know who Daniel is. If your name's Daniel, I'm sorry. That felt targeted. But yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. So I don't want to hold you guys up any more longer than I have to. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and that's it. So of course, yours truly, Mr. Beard, is out.